Amen. There is a big hole in this congregation today at the loss of our sister Carol Beck, who went home to be with the Lord this week. She was a special lady in this church, longtime member, and she was just as precious as could be. The adjective that is mostly used when people talk about Carol, she was just so sweet, and she just was. She just was the sweetest thing. A week ago, last Saturday, Lori and I went up to the hospital to see Carol, and she was awake and alert. They said she was looking really good that day, and so Russ and Lori and Austin were up there, and we got talking. And first thing she said to me was, she says, "I'm going home." And I said, "Okay, I'm going home." And I said, "Well, let's talk about that, And I said, because it was a year or so ago, she had the same kind of upper respiratory thing and ended up in the hospital with them for a long time. And I went to visit her that day, and she said, "I'm going home." And I said, "Well, wait a minute, let's talk about it." And I said, "Carol, I really want you to stay here, and I know that all of us do. Would you?" I said, I believe if I lay hands on you, God will heal you, and and she said, I really want to go home. And I said, "Will you do it for us?" Well, all right. So I laid hands on her, and I prayed for her, as I do so often for people. And God raised her up, and she came home to her home in here on earth. This time she was quite determined, but she did allow me to pray for her, lay hands on her, and accommodated that. But I felt when I left there that she knew what she wanted. She said, "I'm going home." She said, "I had them take all the tubes out and all the stuff," and she said, "I'm shutting down and I'm going home, and I want to be with Jonathan and Harold." And I said, "Yeah, okay." And that's what she wanted. And there is a time to live and there is a time to die. And Carol left us in glorious and grand style. She knew, and she had total peace. There was no fear. There was nothing. It was like, it's just time for me to exit and go. And this body's had enough, and I'm ready to go. So it's a wonderful thing. But it's a hard thing for us, because she was here every week that she could be, and that was almost every week. And we all loved her. She was a charter member of what I call my Beautiful Ladies Club. You have to be over 65 to get in. And they are my beautiful ladies. And we will all miss her.